Please stand for the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you all for coming to celebrate this special day with all of us. I would like to welcome Mr. Claude Comer, President and Founder, to say a few words.
Well, I would like to thank everybody for coming today, all the guests, the parents, the families, and everyone who supported our students. I would like also, obviously, to thank every person from the side of DigiPen that actually helped preparing you. And after you going through this very difficult gauntlet, you are here today. And today, I actually bow in front of you and say to you that you have actually earned the right to graduate from us and to actually go forward in life and to become definitely a colleague of ours. You're no longer a student today, so therefore, you should be very proud of what you have done and what you have accomplished, and that from now on, since you are not a student, I accept from you all the invitations for lunch, dinners, and whatever you want. Well, before that, it would have been considered to be a bribe. So that's the reason. Anyway, I never like to speak, neither in public nor anywhere. I hate this role between you and I. And I hate also the jacket, the tie, and the shirt, and the sweat that they bring me. So I promise you that, in very few occasions, I put a tie and a shirt and whatnot. And I do it in case somebody wants to take a photo. Otherwise, I don't need it. So as soon as we go back to DigiPen to celebrate, I will take off this and I will be actually much more relaxed. So what am I going to tell you in these few words? I cannot say anything more than what I have wrote for you in the booklet. So it's in the first page or so after the cover. I wrote everything about what I would like to say today. And in this moment, I would like just to summarize it. And I am sure and I'm confident, otherwise you would have never graduated. And as you can notice, you are fewer than the entrance cohort was. So some people did not make it, and that is very, very sad for me. And you guys have made it, and you make me very happy. I would like to actually keep you longer. Seriously, I would like to keep you longer, and I hate when people leave us. There is a sentiment that is combined of, some sadness because you're leaving. We don't get to see you as often. And happiness because we know that you're going to go out there and you're going to be brilliant. Now, we have trained you very well. From that perspective, I have no doubt. We have actually gone through everything that you need to know that possibly is, like humanly possible to actually implement in your brain. We have done it. And that is actually, in my opinion, enough for you to start. However, you know very well, and you have heard me saying it, and if you didn't, well, you should hear it today, is that you still have with us 10 years of free education. You have earned today this right. If you didn't graduate today, we wouldn't be talking about that. But life from now on is going to be a continuous quest of knowledge, towards being better, to make sure that you are it all the time. And for that, we are going to be with you. So you can come back and take a course and or two, or whatever you would like. It's free. You are always very welcome. You are now part of us. You are going to define our future. It is not us that define it. It's not our actions during these 4 years that define what DigiPen is all about. It is actually when we graduate somebody and this person will go out and will do wonderful work, they define us. And we wouldn't last a minute if you go out there and do, work that will make us ashamed, and we will not last, for maybe 1 or 2 more graduations and will disappear. So you really are the component and this necessary, component that makes us who we are and makes us succeed and makes us famous. We started very small. We started with a dream long time ago, and look where we are today. Governments are asking us to go and implement ourselves in their countries in order to start, a field in gaming, for example, or simulations, or whatever. We are being invited there. For those people who think that we have a desire to go and implement DigiPen in foreign lands, you are wrong. I have no desire at all to do that. One, we don't have the money for this. We can take your tuition and go there and say, okay, let's start, a colony on the moon and leave you here, starving for education. So if we are invited by somebody, we go. Why? Because we would like to enlarge the horizon of our student body and to make sure that, we can teach as many people as possible on planet Earth to become like us. Because we are the good people. That's what we are in my eyes. We are the decent people that actually don't go fight, don't go make problems. We solve problems and we add to this world as opposed to subtract from the world. That's why I'm happy when a government comes to me and said, okay, come and teach my kids. Say, okay, these are your kids, not mine, so therefore you pay for it. We teach them. That's good. And they become DigiPen people. They become your friends, they become your colleagues, and they will understand you because they went through the same process. And that makes me very proud. Makes me very proud to be positive anywhere on earth and help students everywhere to educate them and to make sure that they will have a future that is actually filled with joy and filled with hopes, and grow their families, grow their lives, and become very successful people. And at the end, what should you do? You should do like us. You should come back and help us grow more generations like us. And it is from this nucleus, 34 years ago, DigiPen started, and we are keep growing with this dream, and we actually propagate this dream. So what should I say finally? We built DigiPen on some concepts. One, honesty, right? What differentiates us from other people is not the fact that we don't make mistakes. We make mistakes like anybody else. However, what differentiates us is how we solve the mistake, how we approach the mistake and repair it. This is what makes us different. And that's what you should learn today, is that you are going to make mistakes. And what's going to make you, safe and happy with yourself is the way you deal with the mistake, and the way you learn from it, and the way you actually deal with the victims of these mistakes and repair with them. That is one, honesty. I know that with the amount of knowledge that you have, you're going to be arrogant. Well, don't be. Don't go and say, oh, I know it all. You know nothing. You still know nothing. We will die knowing nothing. We as humans were born in a bottle called the universe, inside it. And I don't think in our lifetime we'll be able to travel outside the bottle to see what the bottles look like from the outside. Right? So therefore, you should be humble. You should use your knowledge. You should show that you know your stuff without being arrogant. And that makes people liking working with you and liking that you would handle actually more and more responsibilities and you would succeed this way. And not only you would succeed, you will not get eliminated when the times are tough for a company. They will keep you because you will become a key person for that company, and they will choose to eliminate somebody else. So integrity, honesty, and be humble, those are the things that are so important in order to succeed in life. And this is what I actually want to say today to you. We have given you a lot of work, a lot of words, a lot of science, a lot of arts, a lot of music, sound effects. We have done it all. So the only thing that I would like to remind you today is that these three things, the honesty, integrity, and being humble, right? To keep it in you, and that will keep you safe. The final thing is the quest for knowledge. Don't believe that this is the end of it. And that's the reason we actually give you the possibility to come back, and if you forgot something, or if we have some new topics that we need to teach, that you would take advantage of it and you'll come back and take it. All right, so this is to give you an example, a live example that lifelong education is very important. Right? And with this, I am sure that you will be successful. I am sure you will be successful. And I'm sure all of you will be working, if not already, pretty soon. And demanding quite a bit of a salary as well. Don't sell yourself cheap, okay? So this is what I wanted to say. I will come back later on to say goodbye to you. But I would like to, seriously thank you for the amount of work that you have put. This hasn't been easy. DigiPen is probably one of the most difficult universities in the US. Despite what people believe or don't believe, I don't care. I know exactly who we are, right? And you have been well taught. Congratulations. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be the director of the school. No director, no president puts himself into that position. People have to allow him to be there and allow him to do the work. And I actually looked after you with a whole bunch of people. We are a little army maintaining you happy, safe, and educated. So I'm not alone. I'm just one of the representatives and oldest member of this school. And I was very happy from time to time to be the cook as well and cook for you. And hopefully you would come back to enjoy my sandwiches and my my specialties. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Comer. And now, Mr. Chris Comer, DigiPen's Chief Operating Officer of Redmond, will introduce our commencement speaker, Ms. Renee Gittens.
Thank you, Angela. I am honored to present our guest speaker, Ms. Renee Gittens. Renee is the General Manager of Phoenix Labs, Vancouver, and a multidisciplinary leader with expertise in software engineering and creative direction. Renee is a passionate advocate and connector for game developers and diversity in the game industry with a background in engineering, design, and production. Renee sits on the IGDA Board of Directors as Vice Chair and is outspoken about initiatives to increase diversity both within the game industry and gaming overall. Renee helps the game industry grow and improve for everybody. Please welcome Renee Gittens.
Oh, finally get to take off that mask. Hello, and congratulations. As introduced, my name is Renee Gittens. I currently sit as the General Manager of Phoenix Labs Vancouver. Have you heard of Dauntless? That's us, working on several other things too, and maybe you can help us work on them as well. I started my game development journey sitting in chairs, much like yours, a decade ago. It doesn't seem like a long time to me. Maybe it sounds long to you, but I assure you it'll go faster than you recognize. Despite not having graduated from DigiPen myself, I am familiar with many, many graduates. I've hired them myself. They're my friends. They're even my partners, a DigiPen grad. I'm aware of all of the trials that you've been through. Well, perhaps not all of them, but I know that it was not easy to get to this point. It takes a lot of perseverance and hard work and collaboration. Even though I started my game development journey on a different path, I know that you are far better prepared than I ever was because of this wonderful education you received and because of all of the peers that you've connected with who will stay with you through the rest of your careers. So, again, congratulations. I know that this might seem scary, it might seem like a relief. I'm sure it's a whole bunch of mixed bags of emotions. There were difficulties, unplanned. It's certainly not easy working during a pandemic. Learning during a pandemic is additionally challenging. But the remote schooling and team development and other challenges you have been able to survive through makes you even better prepared for the game industry of today. And of course, DigiPen is a challenging school in normal times. But you've gotten through it. You've gotten through it with your hard work, by supporting each other, by taking your passion and putting it on paper or computers or whatever your preferred format might be. And as you've worked together, you come to recognize that games are not made alone. A few of them might be, but most of them aren't. Games bring together people of various backgrounds and disciplines who have different perspectives. In fact, the more of that diversity that you have, the better that you can make games, the better you can solve problems. By embracing each other and your different perspectives and your different experiences, together you can be more effective. Since working together is key, I want to give you some advice on how to do it. As a general manager, one of my main roles is helping other people work together, helping them work smoothly, helping them be the best developers that they can be and make the best games that are possible. First, I recommend finding ground that you can relate on. It's actually pretty easy in the game development industry. Turns out we all like video games. Not too bad. I was actually in biotech way back when and recognized that Biotech conferences are not the same as game development conferences, because at game development conferences, people talk about video games all the time, even when they're not at a talk, because there's that passion, there's that love, there's that desire to share experiences and emotions, whether that is terror from a horror game or beautiful art in a creative world. As you find ways to relate to each other, you can work to set goals together. Give yourself a path to guide each other on. If you're creating a studio together, figure out what types of games you want to make, and that will guide you as you continue down that path. But most of all, be kind to each other. Give each other the benefit of the doubt. Empathy will take you a long way. You are all wonderfully talented and intelligent and hardworking, but you have to stay humble and recognize that people that you're working with aren't out to get you. They might be stubborn, they might be frustrating, but with their own perspectives, they're trying their best. Recognizing that, taking a step back from your own emotions and figuring out how to find common ground and move forward together will benefit you immensely throughout your career. It will keep you from burning bridges, it will keep your connections strong, and it will make you remembered as a really valuable and positive contributor, no matter what team you're on. Clear communication is important to maintaining this type of connection. I hate recommending books, but I'm gonna say, if you haven't read Crucial Conversations, I highly recommend it. I wish I had read it 8 years earlier than I did, because I learned a lot of that book through a school of hard knocks that was probably unnecessary. As you're working together, you need to contribute to this shared pool of knowledge. Each of your different perspectives will come together and allow you to support each other. Though as you're working together, you have to recognize the only person you can ever control is yourself. If you're getting mad, the only person who can stop you being mad is yourself. If someone else is getting mad, unfortunately, you can't stop them from getting mad. Take a step back and figure out a way to return everyone to a place of safety. If someone is reacting poorly, it's probably because they're scared, not because they dislike you, not because they want your project to fail. We're all in this together. And I think that's a beautiful thing about the game development industry. People who play video games tend to play multiple video games. We're not needing to compete with each other. We're all just needing to work on the best products that we can. And collaboration's the best way to do that. Luckily, these are skills that you've had to practice at DigiPen. It's been a highly valuable experience that'll benefit you for the rest of your careers. Being able to work on projects is an absolutely amazing way to start. You've gotten years of experience that most people don't have as they're sitting in their caps and gowns like you are today. You should cherish those learnings, stay humble, and be supportive of your peers, both above and those who are above you and below you. As for these projects, well, you don't have to develop Nitronic Rush in order to get immense value out of a project. Everything that you've worked on, even the projects that haven't completed, has given you an immense amount of learnings and experience. I recommend that you reflect on those, give them a retrospective, and every single time you run into a challenge, look at what perhaps could have been done differently, or how you could have done something to get over the difficulties that you find. Being able to stay on that forward path is going to help you continue with your momentum throughout your careers. Group projects, true products that you're working on with true deliverables is an invaluable experience to have. As much as game jams and other things are really fun, there's nothing quite like the pressure of having a ship date. And to have that experience is something that is going to benefit you and that has given you so many wonderful learnings, I am certain. You're able to exercise when developing game, the cultivation of a minimal idea into something beautiful. Ed Catmull likes to refer to new ideas as ugly babies. These ugly babies might not seem like they're going to go, to a billion-dollar game at first, but when they are given patience and iteration and consideration and room to grow, then they can turn into beautiful projects. As you're implementing your learnings in realistic scenarios, both ones that you've already experienced at DigiPens and the one that you'll experience as you move forward, you can look at how each grows into its perfect form, or good enough for ship. These full game development cycles are really wonderful ways to iterate and to consider all the ways that we come together. Production gates are something that many people don't experience until they're a year or two into their game development careers. And not to mention TRCs or TCRs, those technical certification requirements. Those can be really challenging to pass, and being able to tackle those early and understand the needs behind them is something that is going to be very valuable as you move forward. And the whole TCR, TRC thing, that's another Sony versus Microsoft conflict there. I won't get into it. It's lot check for Nintendo. We tend to like to use different terms. Game industry is very rarely consistent when it comes to naming. And something that I find particularly valuable about working on projects together is team building and management. Learning how to collaborate cross-discipline, having empathy for people who are going to be working on different parts of the game than you is a way to ensure that your systems, your art, your efforts and assets come together. Managing team dynamics is not always easy. When we're passionate about things, we care a lot about them. And that type of care can make it hurt when things aren't going the way that we planned. But we can support each other. So what are the best ways to support each other? Well, if one of your team members is struggling, something that you can always do is be a rubber ducky. Live rubber duckies are a bit more convenient than plastic ones or rubber ones. But being there to be an ear for somebody to talk about their problems, even if you don't understand art tools, even if you don't understand the programming issues that come with Unreal 5, being able to be there as an ear and someone who's willing to express interest and compassion is going to help your team members grow because they have your support and it will help them work through their problems, even if you can't give them practical advice. When you can give them practical advice, though, you'll find that mentorship is invaluable, both finding mentors and being a mentor yourself. You have many peers surrounding you today that you can rely on. People don't have to be years ahead of you or decades ahead of you in experience to give you valuable advice and information. As you're going out into the game development industry and picking up different skills and learnings, stay connected with each other and share them. You'll find that your peers are going to have invaluable support for you. They'll be diving into new knowledge and learning things, and you can all share that together as long as you stay connected and reach out. I also recommend looking for a mentor. There's a lot of great places to find them, but I'm sure with DigiPen you have the networks available as well. And if you are struggling, there are many ways to push forward. First, investigate. Look at the problem itself. Look for additional sources of information. I mean, Google's pretty much all of our best friends these days anyway. You've been able to experience this throughout the development that you've been through so far, but this will continue to be something. You are at the cutting edge of creativity, you're at the cutting edge of technology. These tools are not going to stay the same. The problems are always going to be new. Being okay with facing the unknown and being able to dive into it, research, try things out is going to keep you on top of your game. As you find problems that are particularly difficult, step back and ensure you haven't made assumptions about the problem and the answer. Oftentimes, we can be blinded by narrowing our focus and sometimes taking a step back and looking at what we're truly trying to solve. The true why of the problem will give us the best direction. And if you can't find a direction from there, reconsider the problem completely. Consider your alternative routes. Never be ashamed as you're facing these issues to ask questions. No one wants to be the leader or the person providing a task or request who doesn't provide full context for the people who need it. Never be shy or ashamed to ask these questions. It shows your interest and consideration. And for those of you who are still interviewing or currently interviewing for jobs, I highly recommend preparing good questions because nothing shows your interest and thoughts and your consideration of a company and their games as deep questions about what they're creating and what your role can be to support that, including how you will grow there. Showing that type of thought is what employers really look for. Finally, as you're tackling life, be sure to not take only a step back from the consideration of the problem, but from the entire issue itself. We're humans, not robots. We require sun and food and sleep and rest and play. And it's important that we provide that to ourselves. Your brain power, unfortunately, is a limited resource. And you need to feed it with rest and food. And surprisingly, blood flows carries those things. So going out and taking a walk is actually a great way to break through a problem. You'll get the blood flowing, oxygen up there, food up there, and be able to think through your issues better. And if something's particularly difficult, it's fine to take a step back from it, play some video games, and sleep on it, because problems are always easier to tackle with fresh eyes. But most of all, don't be afraid to fail. Failing's okay. Mistakes are okay. It's the best way to learn. You cannot and will not be perfect in your entire life and your career. Game development is beautiful, and it is messy. And we write terrible systems to try to get things out the door and have awful bugs that we constantly have to tackle. And that's okay, because it is so dynamic. And it's okay to embrace when things don't go well, because you learn a lot from it, and sometimes they're happy little mistakes. Game development's not only messy, but life is also beautiful and messy. It's not all spherical cows and vacuums. Real life has a lot of interesting problems and issues. Not only are you tackling the first or next phase of your career, you're also juggling relationships and taxes, living situations, meal planning, doctor's appointments, and so much more. Certainly, you're doing much of this now, but these never cease to be problems. Ensuring that you keep your life in balance as you're moving forward will help you be as creative as possible. So be kind to yourself when you drop a ball. Pick it up, back up, dust yourself off, and continue to move forward. With all of the efforts you've already overcome, you're well prepared to overcome these life and career obstacles. You just need to believe in yourself, uplift others while you can, and keep moving forward. Continue to level up your skills, and you'll certainly get a high score. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Renee Gittens, for your contributions to the games industry, for sharing your wisdom with us, and for honoring this year's graduating class. Next, Dr. Eric Moorman, the Dean of Faculty, will now recognize the faculty and honors graduates.
Afternoon, graduating class of 2022. Feels really good to say that. In a moment, it's going to be my privilege to begin the recognition of you, our beautiful, strong, and righteous, almost alumni. It's just minutes away. But first, I'd like to pause and just take a moment to recognize the faculty that we've journeyed here with together. To start, It's with joy and sadness that we confer a special thank you to Professor Ton Burkle, who will be retiring after 16 years with us as an esteemed member of our Department of Mathematics. Thank you, Ton, for that. To him and to all the faculty joining us here today in person and online, let's just take this moment to say thank you. Thank you for sharing their knowledge and experience. Thank you for sharing your passion and drive. And thank you for sharing in your kindness, your love and support, each step. At each of those steps, they were obstacles, they were challenges, they were pains, they were even pandemics. At each of those steps, they arose and helped us to punch back to the end, to this end here today. Thank you. So it is my great honor to be before you as their representative today. As a member and representative of the faculty, I speak to you today with their words. And therefore, it is with their words that I convey the honors for the 2022 graduate students from our Masters of Fine Arts in Digital Arts program and our Masters of Science in Computer Science program. The students we are about to honor are graduating from these programs with a cumulative GPA of 3.7 or higher. Please stand when I call your name that we can recognize you. For the Master of Fine Arts in Digital Arts, Danny Samuels and Vern Visage. For the Masters of Science in Computer Science, Gerald Lee, Dylan Washburn, and Michael Riches. Thank you. Now to honor our undergraduate valedictorians. These students have earned the highest GPA of their graduating class in their degree programs. Valedictorians, please stand when I call your name. For the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation, Ashley Rosenbaum. For the Bachelor of Arts in Game Design, KK77. For the Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design, Jaden Abernathy. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Digital Audio, Bennett Iwanchina. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in Game Design, Riley Garvin. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Colleen Gavriluk. For the Bachelor of Science in Real-Time Interactive Simulation, Guy Siritong. Thank you.
Congratulations, students, and thank you, Dr. Mormon. It is time for our student speakers who will be introduced by Mr. Chris Comer, DigiPen COO, Redmond.
Thank you, Angela. I'd like to introduce our nominated student speaker. The student was chosen by both faculty and staff to speak to their graduating class, all of you. They're chosen because they exemplify what it means to be a DigiPen dragon. Please welcome Christina Mundina.
Hello, how are y'all doing? So welcome everyone, and thank you for coming to celebrate this momentous occasion. To our graduating students, you're almost free. You just need to survive this speech. Good luck. So, and hello to everyone who is streaming this, and hello to all the cats. So I'll try to make this as painless as I possibly can, but before I start, I would like to thank Sophia Wang for helping me write this speech. So if you know where she's sitting, feel free to look at her. Thank you. So, connections. Those connections are your friends, classmates, faculty. And I'm sure for many of you, the connections you made over the past few years at DigiPen surely had made a difference in your experience here as a student. Whether it's asking help on assignments, getting a ride to campus, or asking your roommate to wake you up in the morning so you don't miss your 9 a.m. class on Teams. Just me. Oh, you know who you are. So just like how Sophia helped me with this speech, the connections I've made truly made this experience bearable, even good. As you may recall Claude's speech, he says the first 2 years of DigiPen are hard, but the next 2 gets easier. Well, I found out in my experience, don't tell Claude this, but I think he lied. It doesn't get easier. You've just grown used to it. But at that point, you will have more people you complain to about it. But not to sound like a LinkedIn post spouting connections so often, but the connections you made here are important. After we graduate to become industry professionals, or wherever life may take you, you'll never be alone on your journey. I feel that we built a solid community to the point that we can take other people on our journey, or at least keep in touch to share stories with them. I know my goal is to be in the industry, call up Sophia, be like, hey, Unreal is still compiling my shaders. In the industry, there's always that stigma where we should be in competition with each other. My experience in DigiPen showed me that having that sort of mindset is detrimental to ourselves as well as our growth. The industry could do without the competitiveness. What it needs is more people supporting and uplifting each other. Rather than being in competition with others, be in competition with yourself. Because if you win, you're a better version of yourself yesterday than you were before. And if you lose, you can still grow. We often believe that failure is not an option, that it's the end of the line for us even if we fail once. Truthfully, we will always be failing, but it's only true failure if we do not try. Failing is how we grow and become better versions of ourselves, and it's that sort of mindset we must take, as well as being open-minded and compassionate towards others. Working on a game is a huge commitment, as many of you know, from working on game projects, and the faculty can especially relate to that since many of them were in the industry, face those same sleepless nights, miscommunication, and work that gets tossed away. But what has been demonstrated time and time and again is that by working together, we can be the greater sum of our parts and create games, films we've always envisioned to make. That's why we came here. And we will walk away to make those dreams a reality. I know you all have it in you to try, fail, and eventually succeed. Out of the 100 rejections, it only takes one acceptance to start forging your path. So I could talk about how wonderful and talented our graduates are, but we'll be here all day. But unless if you want to, then let's go do this. And I know it won't be the last praises they'll hear, since they'll be hearing it throughout their journey. To the graduates, during those lonely nights where you need validation that you're walking the right way, that it won't be a dead end and a waste of your time, feel free to contact me through LinkedIn. After this commencement, if you're able to, you take your well-earned and well-deserved time off. You can't take charge of your future if you're tired, unmotivated, and sleep-deprived. Trust me, I tried doing that with my assignments. In fact, I tried doing that this morning. And it hasn't quite worked out to my advantage, but Aside from that, take things one step at a time. I promise you'll get there. Thank you to all the family and friends that are here today watching online to see us graduate, for trusting us to walk on this path. And thank you to the faculty who supported and guided our journeys. And once again, congratulations to our graduates. Hopefully this speech wasn't as painful as I'm in heels right now. Thank you.
To introduce our next speaker, I would like to start with a Dune 2021 quote, because this is DigiPen, so makes sense. A great person does not seek to lead, they are called to it. A student body president is never an easy position of leadership. During some of the most trying years, it is thankless. My partner, a peer, and very soon, my fellow alumni, Jason Thiel.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Chris, for the kind words, and congratulations to the DigiPen class of 2022 graduates. You worked extremely hard to get here, and you deserve every single ounce of praise that you get today. Today is your day. Your day to relish in the achievement of earning a DigiPen degree. You know best what obstacles you personally had to overcome to get here, and you should be extremely proud of that achievement. Take pride in the classwork that you did, the projects that you contributed to, the clubs or social spaces that you made more fun, and the people whose days that you made brighter with your presence. I'm incredibly proud of each of my peers' achievements. DigiPen students create such incredible games, films, music, art, software, and hardware. Part of what made me want to come to this school was seeing the amazing projects that students before us have created, and we have continued to create high-quality experiences that will continue to inspire future generations of students. I can't help but appreciate how unique a DigiPen education is. Other colleges have these big sports events every semester, whereas we have one weekend where everybody forgets to sleep for 48 hours and plays or makes games, watch movies, competes in tournaments, and enter a raffle for a new video game console. I'm sure we've all had the experience of explaining to a relative what DigiPen is for the first time. They inevitably respond something like, "Digi what? Is that like a dinosaur or something? Oh, it's video games. Do people really make money doing that kind of stuff?" I've always found it difficult to explain to people that don't go here that we have an entire day off just to eat the founder's birthday cake. No offense, Claude. Happy birthday. Not to mention that we go to a school where an image of a fat Bugs Bunny named Big Chungus is more recognizable than Ryan Reynolds. And poggers is a more common phrase than okay or cool. I fondly recall the time that a sophomore year game team submitted a photo of Big Chungus himself. And of course, it got flagged for copyright issues. We've come a long way these past few years. I'm sure we can all remember the buildup of excitement leading to our first day here, whether that was over weeks, months, or even years. I know that I can. I found out about DigiPen in 8th grade, but I didn't visit the school until after enrolling, which I would not recommend people do. Thankfully, it worked out for me. I remember the excitement to move in, to meet new people, start my classes, and embark on a journey. I didn't know exactly where DigiPen would take me, even though I had a strong interest in becoming a game programmer. Although that's where I have ended up, I had no expectation that the path would look the way that it did. I met so many amazing people during these last 4 years. Friends who have guided me and constantly challenged me to be better than I was yesterday. Professors who have been a guiding force in my education, both in lectures and as human beings. Staff who have gone above and beyond to help me navigate the school and who have shown kindness and compassion along the way. What has made this journey incredible is the people And I'd like everyone to take a little bit of time today and show appreciation and recognition to the people in your lives who have made these years special. As creative people, some of us may tend to look back on the work that we've done, projects that we've contributed to, and feel like we didn't do enough. I want you to know that that's not true. You added something new to the world. You contributed to bringing new ideas to life. You tried new things, you worked with new people, and sometimes it didn't go as planned. If everything went as we planned in life, I think things would be pretty boring. But you learned how to do new things and helped others working with you to do the same. That's what's inspiring, is the humility and the constant desire to figure out how to do something or create something that nobody has before. I'm extremely honored to have witnessed that and participated in that process with everybody. As we move towards our next steps in life, whatever they may be, I want everyone to run a victory lap and celebrate. Whether that's spending time with family, taking time off, a single day of celebration, or just a few moments of self-appreciation, that's up to you. Many of us have experienced some kind of stress or pressure to perform, potentially even burnout over the last few years. We've all earned a moment to fully set aside the pressure to be productive for however long we can and take some time to rejoice. We've all earned it. And as you move on into that next stage, I encourage you to try your best to be kind to yourselves because you deserve it. Especially over these last few years, systemic racism, oppression, discrimination, harassment, economic hardship and inequality, sexism, violence against women, anti-LGBTQ+ policy, war, and a global pandemic have impacted many students and made their journey harder. It's our responsibility to stand in solidarity with our peers, to better the world and strive for a future free of these injustices and systemic issues. We must be positive forces for change, regardless of whether the change personally helps us or not. Over my time in student government at DigiPen, especially these last 2 years as president, I've been involved in many of the conversations, meetings, and initiatives to make the school better for us and students after us. Throughout that time, I've been very inspired by students engaging with student government, faculty, staff, and administrators to try to bring about positive change. People who are willing to dedicate some amount of their limited free time to post in a Discord chat, attend a student government meeting or a town hall, all in a selfless effort to create a better experience for future students. Many of us participated in the first student-led town hall earlier this semester, which is the largest gathering of students I have seen at this school, I guess maybe apart from this. That made me immensely proud of this community and what we can do if we organize and work together. It gives me hope for what DigiPen is and can become, as well as for what we will all be able to do outside of DigiPen and the change that we can create. Many of us will enter the workforce at some point. As programmers, artists, designers, musicians, engineers, researchers, analysts, and educators at game studios, massive tech companies, small startups, research institutes, schools, and many other professions in places that I didn't list. And we'll be faced with decisions that challenge our values as people. We'll be confronted with choices about how we participate in the process of change. How do we respond to issues in the world around us that affect us and or our peers? It's extremely easy to see the world around us and feel defeated. To see wars, injustices, a global pandemic, or the impending climate crisis and feel that all is lost. I struggle with this thought often as well. But even with overwhelming news, there is still hope for a future free from climate disaster, systemic injustice, and violence of all kinds. As we enter the workforce, we enter a very powerful stage of our lives. The world relies on us putting in the hours each week to keep the lights on. Companies rely on us to generate revenue. Solidarity amongst workers to make a change is an extremely powerful force. Giving up on hope is what maintains the status quo. We have the power to stand together with our coworkers and fight for the disenfranchised, start unions, demand better benefits, demand equal pay, eliminate crunch, fight for radical climate action, and so much more. Even actions that feel small have an impact and help keep hope alive. You have a lot more power than you think you do. You're all amazing, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store for us and for what we'll achieve. Please take care of yourselves, be kind to others, stay hopeful, and fight for your peers. Stay safe and enjoy the celebrations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jason and Christine, for honoring your classmates with those thoughtful words. I'd like to draw your attention to our DigiPen Dragon Chorus as they perform Other Commencement. Lyrics were written by DigiPen alumnus Ariel Kim and music by Dr. Sarah Riskind, and conducted by 2022 Bachelor of Music and Sound Design graduate Benny Daniels.
The end of this chapter has arrived. The start of this chapter has begun. Through all the years we spent together, and growing connections. We know that we learned, we grown, we made it. All the young that we learned, we grown, we made it. All the inspired, older, ready to take on the world. Ready to take on the world. As long as we grow, as we do, life will continue to open new gateways.
With life and these paths, as we did in these past years, growing,
Fighting,
living our passions in the best way.
nothing will tell us we cannot move on. Hardships thrown at us will never be gone. But even with hardships thrown at us, we will always move on. We will always move on. We know that we learned, we've grown, we made it. Through all the years that we learned, we've grown, we made it.
Thank you, DigiPen Dragon Chorus, for that lovely performance. We are ready now to confer degrees to our graduates. As a reminder, we ask that guests stay in their seats during the ceremony and not approach the stage, as we have professional photographers who will be sharing links to photos for all graduates within the next few days.
Conferring degrees for the Master of Fine Arts program is Program Director Mark Henn. The Master of Fine Arts in Digital Arts combines foundational coursework in the fine arts with extensive digital production experience to help students develop both their personal skill and artistic voice.
Malene Saftalen. Danny Samuels. Vern Visich.
Conferring degrees for the MSCS program is Program Director Dimitri Volper. The Master of Science in Computer Science allows students to further their understanding of computer science while specializing in an advanced subdiscipline of simulation software and video game development.
Arthur Chang. Jared Eagley. Chase Raymond. Adam Rhodes. Michael Riches. Thomas Spalter. Dylan Washburn.
Conferring degrees for the BFA in Digital Art and Animation is Program Director Jasno Francoeur. The Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation teaches students the techniques, processes, and tools that professional artists use to create powerful, affecting imagery for games, animated films, and other digital media.
Zainab Asghari. Jesus Barrera Garcia. Josh Bechtel. Tawan Pumi Tawarn. James Blanchard. Christophe Bouchard. Joe Brace. Tyla Bryant. Autumn Burns Christensen. Kane Castanera. Aaron Shumully. James Crumbo. Angeline Cruz-Yen. Trevin Dahl. Zoe Davis. Jessica Daly. Kyle DeSimone. Michelle Dietrich. Jesse Nabar Getson. Brooke Gunnett. Annie Hansen. Angelica Hernandez. Catherine Hoppy. PK Jock. Tammy Jaderland. Blake Johnson. Nick Kalin. Amy Kim. Parker King. Michael Lemon. Chelsea Leong. Justin Takesing Lim. Robert Lopez. Christine Medina. Sky Mednick. Jay Morton. Tammy Wynn. Tyler Niemi. Kelsey O'Neill. Crow Owsley. Christopher Pung. Kathleen Pete. Sabrina Person. Garrett Pinney. Daniel Prem. Ashley Rainey. Finnegan Rasmussen. Elena Raskovoza. Corwin Robinson. Ashley Rosenbaum. Joe Ruverall. Napasorn Sangkual. Kaska Sosha. Alex Sorosi. Cassie Spencer. Julianne Sprague. Jianfeng Sun. Tantai Tamburang. Sishol Talangpong. Veronica Wok. Sophia Wong.
Conferring degrees for the BAGD program is Program Director Jeremy Holcomb. The Bachelor of Arts in Game Design combines game design theory and practice with coursework in the humanities, social science, art, and the fundamentals of mathematics and computer science to produce graduates with a deep knowledge of how to craft compelling game experiences.
KK77. Masashi Abe. Hugo Block Okiak. Theodore Bannock. Grant Campbell. Joshua Campbell. Brianna Cummings. Laurel Darling. Mark Esperagoza. Kevin Etheridge. Marcos Falco. Jirawa Jampon Kunawat. Tyler Mall. John Mann. Grant Manor. Ryan Massey. Theodore McKay. Storm Morgan. Megan Mortensen. Asher Robertson. Sammy Salkind. Sala Shang. Kaylin Simpson. Brandon Stam. Isaiah Stevens. Max Ducker. Pisit Sungtawarn. Johnny White. Anthony Williams.
Conferring degrees for the BA MSD program is Program Director Lauren Schwedler. The Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design focuses on the creative principles of interactive sound design. This program combines foundational coursework in music, including music history, composition, theory, and performance, with practical training in studio recording techniques and sound design principles.
Jaden Abernathy. Benny Ginger Daniels. Aria Fulin. Gabrielle Gaston. Susanna Gelsima. Michelle Mayer. Axel McCrum. Eric Pansula. Cameron Sanju. Alfaro Corney III.
Oh, what spot? Conferring degrees for the BSc SDA program is Program Director Lauren Schwedler. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Digital Audio combines the disciplines of computer science, audio engineering, and music. The degree program focuses on audio programming and digital signal processing, along with audio production and implementation, to train the next generation of game audio programmers in the development of adaptive soundscapes and the tools needed to build them.
Thank you, Alfaro. Bennett Iwanchina. Zach Kralikowski.
Conferring degrees for the BSc SGD program is Program Director Ben Ellinger. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design combines game design theory and practice with coursework in computer science, mathematics, the humanities, social sciences, and arts to produce graduates who are proficient computer scientists and designers.
John Paul Abides. Quinn Byerly. Zachary Brown. Devin Cabness. Mark Culp. David Daskey. Carlos Garcia Perez. Riley Garvin. Chase Graves. Dylan Hahn. Ryan Heath. Dustin Keplinger. Usama Khalaf. Hung Kim. Matthew Klingman. Akshat Madan. Will Milkey. Alora Newberry. Lowell Nowich. Dylan Pyatt. Skylar Powers. Jacob Presley. Will Pritz. Ganu Raju. Robert Seaver. Austin Stead. Ethan Villison. Dieter Vogels. Jay Weimer.
Conferring degrees for the BSCS program is Program Director Pushpak Karnik. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science prepares students to develop software through a combination of computer science theory and continuous practical application in team-based projects. Students learn to gather, store, and analyze real-world data to connect and harness the power of distributed computing devices and to create digital interfaces that are natural and intuitive.
Gray Bangs. Tristan Bouchard. Jonathan Chicks. Colleen Gaverlook. Evan Higgins. Jacob Tate.
Conferring degrees for the BSCS RTIS is Program Director Pushpak Karnik. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in Real-Time Interactive Simulation focuses on developing, implementing, and programming complex interactive simulations in computer graphics in real time, giving students the knowledge and skills to produce highly complex software systems at a professional level.
Hadi Al-Husseini. Tristan Baskerville. Jonathan Borim. Patrick Cook. Sadiq Daniels. Ryan Davis. Arthur Estadio. Bennett Harvey. Timothy Hugh. Jordan Hoffman. Joshua Ibrahim. Kelby Jang. Brian Johnson. Christian Lacona. Brian Salvador Lopez Rosas. Connor Myers. Reese Moreau. Cameron Monks. Roland Mangia. Siva Netrabchanko. Chow Win. Sean Nickel. Samink Utayopath. Yi Chen. Alejandro Ramirez. Keegan Redman. Roland Shum. Guy Siratong. Aiden Staunton. Jason Thiel. Join me in giving a round of applause for all of our graduates. Each year, as new cohorts join DigiPen, our president, Mr. Khmer, greets them during new student orientation and asks that they give us their very best for the duration of their time at DigiPen. Now, let me introduce him one final time as he thanks our graduates and bids them good luck. Please welcome Mr. Khmer.
Yeah, these days you see a mask and you are afraid, to be around it. Well, let me share with you the experience from my seat over there. First of all, I barely can see anything in front of me because of these beautiful lights. Then, while Eric was presenting and Angela calling the names, and from my side over there, I see something dark over there. That alley here, that walkway, is pretty dark for me. I can't see anything. Then I hear footsteps. Then I hear somebody walking, boom, 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 then appears out of the black, coming here and receiving the folder. Then bam, a flash comes out of my face because they take a picture. And here this experience repeats again. It's very eerie. Very eerie. It looks like, the haunted house from Disneyland or something like that. So anyway, this was my experience now. So I can't see anything, neither left nor right, plenty of lights. And I suggest for next year that the lights will be turned towards the students so we can see them. Anyway, it is always my pleasure to come back and after I give my 2 words at the beginning and say some additional words, which I asked for this final time because I usually forget plenty of stuff that I wanted to say at the beginning, forget them, so I get the chance to think and then come back to say something. Well, one thing that you need to understand is the pedagogy of DigiPen, what you went through. DigiPen stresses on the fact that we are unusual about, giving our education and asking you to stay with us long hours every day and so forth. That is obviously to give you the common ground, to give you the load that you need to know, the knowledge, because every one of you is like, your brain is like a computer and you need software for it. And the software, is only data, and data is processed by the brain, and you can answer questions and so forth. However, it is not what is unique at DigiPen. What is unique at DigiPen is the way we insist on not actually stamping student after student after student and making sure that every student is equal to the other person that graduated before. Many universities and many education systems in the world stresses on the fact that you need to look like the other graduate in order to graduate. Well, that is actually, in my opinion, not a useful way to teach. What we want is to create individuals that are unique, knowledgeable, but unique. And every one of you is unique. Every one of you has the base knowledge, obviously, but over the years, because you work together, because you work on project, because you actually collaborate in an interdisciplinary way, every project that we have gathers people from all over the school And you get to meet, you get to sit, you get to solve problems, and then that actually what builds your brain. The knowledge that we give you, it helps to actually find ready available answers. However, we prepare you to be able to go and do research and find more solutions and add data to the load that you have. And because you learned with us how to problem solve, you actually can solve the problems. But every one of you is unique, totally unique, like a fingerprint. So therefore, the system that we have emphasizes that by giving you a total, an environment that gives you total freedom to be accepted exactly the way you are. We are the most tolerant, population on earth, I think. And I'm very happy with that. When I see the school that, people come to me with different hair colors, different attires, different mentalities, different way of thinking, I actually applaud that. And I actually support that. You see, I actually was born in a country with very little tolerance. And I actually came to this country to actually live the dream that every single person came from very far to join this country. And I actually want to live that fully. I don't want to actually, help creating and stamping people that exactly look like, the college they came out from. That is what I hated all the time. I did 19 years of university studies, and I hated every moment of it. And I decided to create a school where we don't have this pressure. Obviously, we need to learn. Obviously, there are difficulties because the topics that we are teaching are extremely difficult. Whether you're making video games or not, it doesn't matter to me. A video game is an example of an extremely difficult project to produce. It has human interaction, it has, psychology, it has gameplay, it has understanding who's on the other hand of the, the screen. You are inside the machine. And people are playing against you. They're not playing against a software that is made against the computer. People say, when I'm playing against the computer, nobody plays against the computer. Computer is as dumb as this stand here, right? The people are playing against us, against the people who programmed that game. We have to understand them. We have to understand the end user, the kids, quote unquote, that are on the other side. And we have to actually respond. We have to respond intelligently. And we have to give them a whole environment, whether it's music, sound, interaction, communication, networking. I mean, turning this dumb stand into an intelligent one is a miracle. And you can do that. But what is most important is the fact that you are visiting people at homes, in their place of work, under a blanket where a kid is playing against the will of his parents. You are visiting them. You are playing with them, and they are trusting you. So therefore, what you are doing is very serious and should be very responsible. And you should understand the power that you have and never abuse it. And this is what I want you to go with, is the fact that you understand that what you have learned is going to affect millions of people out there. You see, millions of people. And it is extremely important to understand your role and your responsibilities, and not actually to take advantage of somebody who opens their mind and opens their heart to play against you inside the machine, to take advantage of them and hurt them. That would be a criminal act. And I believe you will never do it. So, this is how important your education was, to create individuals that are very well taught, that will think each for themselves and take their responsible decisions and be unique, So when you go to a company, whether it's a game company or not, let's say it's a game company, and you go in there and you see 60 or 70 people from DigiPen, the company is not seeing them as, that's a DigiPen person. They trust your education and your base education because you are from DigiPen. That is true. However, they're going to discover very quickly that amongst the 50 people they have from DigiPen, not a single one is identical to the other. And therefore, they cannot actually get rid of half of them because, okay, today is tough on me. I'm going to get rid of half of my staff because, they all are equal. So I just take half and I reduce by half. You can't reduce DigiPen students. And that is what is important for you to understand. So the tolerance that we have at school for you to express yourself the way you want, to act the way you want, to think the way you want, to be the way you want to be, is very important to us. And that will remain as long as I live. And those who oppose this idea, I don't invite you to come and kill me or something. Just don't come to DigiPen. Okay? So, this is what I wanted to say. This is what I forgot to say in the previous thing. That's why I have a retake. So, now, to come to the why I came to finally. I came finally to do something together here that is necessary to do because you have been, listening to instruction, listening to information. Obviously, you talk, you give your opinion and so forth, but you have never together sat here, like here, and able to scream. And this is what we want to do now together. That's a tradition for graduation. You will not graduate before you scream. Right? So, after all, we're DigiPen, and we're not some uptight university, and we want actually to go out of here shaking this building. We have done, I don't know, maybe 17, maybe 20 graduation in this building, right? So I want actually to shake this building. I want them to remember us. They always complain about it, but we are going to do it. So at the count of 3, I want you really to scream, right? I know that you are muzzled by these masks or something. I'm not going to ask you to take them out because that would be illegal. But I'm going to actually close my eyes. If you want to take them out, take them out. I don't care. Actually, we don't see you. I can hear you, but we don't see you. Anyway, I'm going to count to 3, and at the backward, and when I reach, 0, I want to scream. Okay, and I don't want to go, this is not a scream, let's repeat it, let's scream, make me hear. All this baloney. We're DigiPen people. We do it the right way from the beginning, from the get starts, okay? So, okay, practice now, practice. Okay, say, whatever, do whatever. Yeah, okay. Anybody wants to practice more? Okay, good. Try to hear your voice, right? Okay, so. Okay. All right. Now the true one. And I want really to shake that building, seriously. Okay? 3, 2, 1, 0. There you go, there you go. I'm happy. Yes. Okay, that was great. Yeah, because in the past sometimes I had to do a redo because they went. Okay, all right. So I don't know what is the next, and I really don't care. I simply don't care. Seriously, I don't care. I know that they hate me because I always move things around. They always do whatever, but who cares, right? So we are going to. I'm sure that we have something for you to enjoy at DigiPen. some food, some schmoozing, some photo taking, something. So please, I implore you, don't do like your predecessors. Go to the keyboards and pluck out the keys. The keys for DigiPen, DIGIPEN. Please don't do that. Because some people do that, and they can, take the keyboard if you want, but don't plug this thing out, right? So, okay. All right, so we're going to go there, and we're going to enjoy some food. And for those who do not know the food of DigiPen, it is great. It is great, and she's doing this. I'll take note. I'll tell them. It used to be better before, but with the pandemic and all the rules, and can't serve yourself and can't do whatever. Anyway, we're going to go there, enjoy it. And for you who did this, take double the dose. Take some home as well. So we would love to see you there, and I will be there. I will be without my tie and suit. So, find me, talk to me, say hello. I would like to say goodbye, and I would like to see you again. And the invitation is open. Every time you come to DigiPen as an alumni, as a graduate, food is on us, even though it's like that according to you. Food is on us, and you'll always be invited. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now I don't know what you want. You want to throw the hats? You want to do whatever? Just do it.
Okay, as Mr. Khmer said, we do have a reception following this event, so we hope to see many of you back on campus from, right after this, about 2:30 to 6 o'clock. But before then, I'd like to take a moment to thank the following people: to our presenters and members of DigiPen leadership, Mr. Claude Khmer, Eric Mormon, and Chris Khmer, for their roles in overseeing the education and honoring our graduates today. Thank you all also to Renee Gittens for the inspirational speech, to Christine Medina and Jason Thiel for their motivational address to the student body, Maddie Caswell and the Commencement Committee for planning and executing this incredible event, the Marketing and Communications Department for their publications for the ceremony, our faculty and staff for their hard work and commitment to our students' education, the DigiPen Faculty Jazz Quintet, the DigiPen Dragon Chorus, and the DigiPen Chamber Singers for today's music, Meidenbauer Center and AV Factory for providing the beautiful space and AV support. And finally, to all of you, family and friends, for your support in helping our students reach this point. Thank you. Following this event, as I mentioned, there'll be a reception at DigiPen. There'll be refreshments, places to take photos. We kindly ask that due to COVID restrictions that you depart for the reception following this ceremony rather than mingling in the lobby here. And we hope to see many of you back there. Guests, we now kindly ask that you please stay seated until the head party, program directors, and students have left the hall. And graduates, it's officially time to turn your tassels and throw your caps in the air. Maybe I'll invite Mr. Khmer back to lead that part. Yeah. And guests, please give a huge round of applause to our 2022 DigiPen graduates.
Hey, I'm back. I guess the suit was worth it today, 3 times. So it seems that I should give you the signal to turn the tassels, and I don't want you to throw your hats too high, okay? But if you want to throw them, I don't care. I mean, but you need to pick them up later on. So if it were to me, I wouldn't have asked you to actually come here and get the degrees. I would have tossed one by one to you, and that would be much more fun. Okay, so please do me the honor to turn the tassel on the other side so you can officially become our colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy. I hope to see you at DigiPen, okay? You guys take care. Take care.
Oh, DigiPen Institute of Technology. You keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. Oh, DigiPen, life is more than just a game for you. Here at DigiPen, hearts and minds are joining to design new worlds. Here's to DigiPen, oh, DigiPen Institute of Technology. You keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. Oh, DigiPen, life is more than just a game for you. Here at DigiPen, hearts and minds are joining to design new worlds. Here's to DigiPen, oh, DigiPen Institute of Technology. You keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. DigiPen, oh, DigiPen Institute of Technology. Just a game. Keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. DigiPen, oh, DigiPen. Life is more than just a game for you. Sometimes, but you're here at DigiPen, oh, hearts and minds. I'm going to design you so well. Here at DigiPen, oh, DigiPen. I'm going to design you so sometimes, but you're where I want to be. Oh, DigiPen. Life is more than just a game for you. Sometimes, here at DigiPen, hearts and minds. I'm going to design you so well. Here at DigiPen, oh, DigiPen. I'm going to you keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. Oh, DigiPen. Life is more than just a game for you. Sometimes, we're at DigiPen, hearts and minds. I'm going to design you so well. Here at DigiPen, oh, DigiPen. You're going to keep me so busy sometimes, but you're where I want to be. Oh, DigiPen. Life is more than just a game for you. We're at DigiPen, oh,